Shire, also known as Inda Selassie, is a town and separate woreda in Tigray, Ethiopia, the administrative center of the Semien Myirabawi zone of the Tigray region. This town has a latitude and longitude of 14 degrees 6 and 38 degrees 17 A, 14.100 degrees north, 38.283 degrees east, 14.100, 38.283 with an altitude of 1,953 meters above sea level. It was part of Tehte Koraro Woreda. An early mention of Shire is in one of the three surviving charters of Emperor David I of Ethiopia. As part of the Second Italo-Abyssinian War, Italian units under General Pietro Badoglio advanced out of Axum on 29 February 1936 to attack The. Ethiopian army under Ras Imru Haile Selassie deployed around Shire in an action known as the Battle of Shire. Despite determined Ethiopian resistance, by 3 March the Italians had resumed their advance and shortly afterwards crossed the Tekeze River. After the restoration of the monarchy in 1941, Shire served as the capital of the Shire subregion until the administrative reorganization of the nation following the adoption of the 1995 Ethiopian constitution. Shire once again became a battlefield during the Ethiopian Civil War. The first clash of the Tigrayan People's Liberation Front with government forces occurred 5 August 1975, after Mihrai Tekal, a member of the TPLF leadership, was arrested in Adi Dero by government militiamen and taken to prison in Shire, before he could be transported to a more secure facility in Mekelle or Addis Ababa. A squad of 11 men burst into the prison, wounding one policeman and scattering the rest, freeing their comrade and 60 other prisoners, and spiriting him away to safety. During the latter part of the war, following the massive Ethiopian army defeat at the Battle of Afarbut in March 1988, the TPLF launched a series of offensives, in which they destroyed government forces stationed at Rama, Adwa, Sele Leha, and Shire. Only about 200 soldiers of the 17th Army Division were able to evacuate Shire and fall back to Gondar. This led to the raising of the 3rd Revolutionary Army, composed of the 603rd, 604th and 605th Corps armies. Between the 19th of June and the 3rd of July 1988, the 604th was able to regain control over 12 districts and entered Shire with no significant resistance from TPLF forces. However, due to unrest amongst the government soldiers at Adi Hagare, which permitted the TPLF to attack and occupy that town, the 604th was unable to advance again until the 28th of December. This led to the Second Battle of Shire, which ended on the 19th of February 1989 as a victory for the TPLF. Although Shire had been the headquarters of the 3rd Revolutionary Army at the beginning of the battle, at the end the remaining units were retreating towards Enda Abaguna. On the 21st of March 1989, Shire was bombed from the air by the Ethiopian National Defense Forces. One person was killed. The 3rd edition of Lonely Planet Guide to Ethiopia notes that war relics could still be seen near Shire. The Tigray War that began in November 2020, the COVID-19 pandemic in Ethiopia, and a locust outbreak all contributed to an emergency food situation in Tigray region. With 2 million people short of food in January 2021, the situation was particularly bad in Shire, with 100,000 internally displaced people. About 10% of the children were diagnosed as having severe acute malnutrition. The DX Open Network, based in the UK and analysing satellite images, found that 2 warehouse-style structures in the UN World Food Programme compound at Hitsats refugee camp had been, very specifically, destroyed. Doctors Without Borders found that in the parts of Adigrat, Adwar and Axum that they had access to, in other parts of Tigray region, the civilian casualties were extremely high. Shire has a tropical savanna climate with average rainfall reaching 905 mm. Based on the 2007 national census conducted by the Central Statistical Agency of Ethiopia, this town has a total population of 47,284. of whom 21,867 are men and 25,417 women. The majority of the inhabitants said they practiced Ethiopian Orthodox Christianity, with 85.11% reporting that as their religion, while 14.67% of the population were Muslim. According to the 1994 national census, the town had a population of 25,269, of whom 11,360 were men and 13,909 women. In the mid-1980s, the population of the town was below 15,000. The Ethiopian Roads Authority had 2 roads built to connect Shire to neighboring towns. In June 2009, the authority released a report on their status. The road connecting Shire with Adi Goshu, 156 kilometers in length, was 52% complete and would be completed by November 2010. The road that would connect to Adi Aban, 92 kilometers in length, would be completed in 2 years. As of May 2010, construction was underway on a road segment 71 kilometers long connecting Shire west to Dedbut, and which will continue on to Adi Remats, then terminate at De Genadench. The town hosts an airport, Shire Airport.